looking at it. And so while he was enjoying himself, once he recognized that there was something above him that could have easily fell on top of his head, he became uncomfortable. He kept looking up. He was afraid that the sword might fall. Whenever wind would blow and the sword would sway, he would always go like this. And so he wasn't able to enjoy his time on the throne because of the sword that was hanging above his head. And so while he desperately wanted to be king, and he was king, he was uncomfortable the entire time. And at the end of the day, when the 24 hours was over, and the servant went up to the king said, "How was your day as king?" And he said, "Oh my God, it was terrible." The king said, "Why was it terrible? Didn't you have everything you would like? You had all the power, you had all of the money, you had all of the food, you had a gigantic castle to yourself. Why didn't you like being king?" And the man said, "Because there was a sword hanging above my head." And the king said, "There was only a sword hanging above your head for one day. But for me, that sword hangs above my head every day in life." You see, while I have this power and people love me, I also have people who hate me. While I have all of the food that I can eat, I'm afraid one day someone might poison me. While I have all of the power in this kingdom, one day people might want to overthrow my power. They might want to take power from me. You see, leadership is about what you do for others, and it's about the love and why you do what you're doing. Is this making any sense? Is making any sense? And so my goal, as I said, is to help you to become better leaders. Because when I ask who wants to be a leader, all of the ways that you can become a better leader. All right? But before I share those ways that you can become a better leader, I want you to turn to the person next to you. Now I'm going to give you 1 minute. I'm going to give you 1 minute to talk to the person next to you. And I want you to tell them why you desire to be a leader. Okay? All right? All right, let's go. Go ahead. You got 1 minute. Talk to them why you desire to be a leader. You got 30 more seconds. You have 20 more seconds, 20 more seconds, 20 more seconds. Why do you want to be a leader? 20 more seconds. Talk to the person next to you. Why do you want to be a leader? Okay, let's start in the back. Can someone tell me why you want to be a leader? Let's start somewhere in the back. Go ahead. What do you guys say? Come on, what are some people in the back? What do you guys say? Go ahead, you. Yes, what did you say? Everyone Quiet, quiet. I'm listening. Okay, so what I heard was you want people to look up to you. Okay, good answer. Clap it up for that. All right, who else? Who else? What did you say? Yeah, you. Yeah, you. Why do you want to be a leader? You want to be able to help people who don't know how to help themselves. Okay? Why do you want to be a leader? I can't hear you at all. You want to help people that you're with? Say that again. You want to help everybody. Okay? Good. Why do you want to be a leader? I can't hear you. You want to help people who need something. Okay? Why do you want to be a leader? Say that again. To create positive impact. Okay. There's some people I can't see over here. Let me come right here again. Why do you want to be a leader, sir? I can't hear you. All right, give yourselves a round of applause. Okay. All right, they're putting up a curtain. Okay. So as they're doing that, as they're putting up the curtain, I want you to write this down. Are you taking notes? I want you to take out your pens and paper. I want you to write something down. In the back, you don't have pens and papers? Share, if someone doesn't have a paper next to you, share it with them. If they don't have a pen, make sure you give it to them. At the top of the paper, write your name, write the date, and write leadership. You have a paper? No pen or paper? Taking the notes on the phone. All right. You don't have. Okay. Good. It's good, just extend it. Okay. Good. All right, the first thing you need to do as a leader, write down, you need to be introspective. Put introspective. INTROSPECTIVE. You gotta be introspective. I'll explain what that means in a second. Raise your hand if you know what introspective means. What does introspective mean? Okay, good. Reflect on your own character, self-analyze. Good. Yeah. Okay, that's right. So when you're introspective, you know when you want to examine something, what do you do when you examine it? You look at all of the details. You probably hold it in your hand, you look at it. You inspect it to see what is right, what is wrong. That's happens when you examine something or when you inspect something. So when you're introspective, that means you examine your own heart. See, there was a guy by the name of G.K. Chesterton. He's a world famous writer. And one day, G.K. Chesterton, he was swimming in a lake. And when he was swimming in a lake, across the lake, he saw a beautiful woman. And G.K. Chesterton, he said, "Oh my God, that woman is so beautiful. I want to go and talk to her." So G.K., he went and he just started swimming over there. It wasn't a 1 second swim. He started swimming as far as he can to get to the lady. Because from a long distance, she looked beautiful to him. She saw his figure, and he saw her figure, and he wanted to talk to her. But as he was swimming, and he finally got close to her, and he lifted his head above water, he realized that this woman had leprosy. You know what leprosy is? He realized this woman had a very terrible skin condition. And he also saw that the woman, she had no teeth. He saw that her skin was falling off her bones. And the first thought that came to his head was, wow, what an ugly woman that is. And then his next thought was, wow, what an ugly heart I have. He said, ow, what an ugly heart I have. And G.K. Chesterton, in that moment, he did in 2 seconds what many people don't do in their lifetime. He stopped what he was doing and he examined his own heart. He stopped what he was doing and he examined the fact that the woman never called him over. She never asked for him to be next to her. But it was because of his wicked heart. It was because of his wicked heart he went over there and he said, wow, what an ugly heart I have. And as leaders, what you must understand is nobody is perfect, and that's including yourself. So as a leader, when you are introspective, when you examine yourself, you ask, what are the things that I'm not doing right? Or what are the things that I am doing right? What are the things that I'm doing wrong? What are the negative thoughts that I have? What are the skills that I don't have? What are the skills that I need to learn? Right? That's what you do as a leader. You shouldn't wait until people tell you that you need to get better at public speaking, or you need to be more disciplined with your time, or that you need to become more intelligent in the field that you're leading in. You should constantly examine yourself in order for you to understand what you can do better. So I want to ask, go around the room, and I'm very curious to know, if you were to examine your own life, ask yourself, what is something that I can do to become better at what I do every day? Whether that's studying more, whether that's writing more, whether that's reading more, whether that's understanding how to build better relationships. So I want you to write down, what are some things that you can do in order to improve in your life? What are some things that you can change in order to improve? All right? I'll give you 10 seconds to do that. Well, more than 10 seconds. I'll give you a minute. Write down what are some things you can improve. All right, 30 more seconds. Are you thinking of something? You're thinking of something? Okay. right, 10 more seconds. All right, let's go around the room. Who wants to answer? What can you do to improve your life? What can you do? Who wants to go first? Who wants to go first? All right, go ahead. Hold on, let me get closer to you.
Speak louder.
I stop myself and I ask, what exactly am I
Mm-hmm.
Why am I going to do it and should I?
Mm.
And once all of those ones were addressed, and then the last one.
Okay. So I like what he said. What he just explained was being what's called a strategic decision maker. What did I say? It looks like you can improve on to become a better leader. Be more disciplined. Who here wrote down something of being more disciplined? Who wrote something down? Raise it high, raise it high. I want two people, okay. So here's the thing about discipline. If you read the writings and books of multi-millionaires and billionaires, the richest people on earth, and you read what they write, one of the most important skills that they have, and this is a skill, is the skill of discipline. Is what? Is a skill of discipline. So you might ask yourself, why is discipline important? Why is discipline one of the most important skills that these wealthy people are speaking about? And the reason why discipline is number one is one, because most people are not disciplined. Most people, they say they made a decision, you go and you talk to them in 2 or 3 days and they're doing something else. You talk to them today, I want to start a business. You talk to them tomorrow, oh, I don't think business is for me. You talk to them today, I want to go to school. You talk to them tomorrow, oh, I don't know if I'm going to school. You talk to them today, I want to start a family. You talk to them tomorrow, they are doing whatever. They're not doing the things that someone who started a family should be doing. Right? And because they're constantly shifting and changing, they can't stay focused in one area. They're constantly moving around. They're constantly changing places. And so when you are disciplined in a specific area, when you're disciplined, you're able to put in more time and effort toward a specific task. And what makes that important is when you put in that time and effort towards that task, when you put in the time and effort towards that task, you become an expert in that. And when you become an expert at something, when you become known at something, people are willing to pay you for your expertise. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So you might ask yourself, how then do I become disciplined? What is the most important thing that I can do today in order to be disciplined? And one of the things that you can do is what they call habit stacking. So you ask yourself, what should I be disciplined in? Or what is it I need to be disciplined in? If it's studying, for example, you say, I know I need to study if I want to graduate from college, if I want to go to school. So how can I be more disciplined? It's one thing you can do. You can find someone to hold accountable. And going to your big brother, going to your sister, going to a parent, and say, hey, I spend a lot of time on my phone. I know I shouldn't be on my phone scrolling on social media. I shouldn't be are you on TikTok? Instagram? Yes? All right. So he said, I spend too much time on TikTok, I spend too much time on Instagram, and I shouldn't be studying. You find someone who loves you, who wants to hold you accountable, and you say, I'm supposed to study from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Here is my phone. Hold on to my phone for 2 hours, because this is a distraction. And over the next 2 hours, I'm studying. And when I'm done studying, I'm going to tell you everything I just learned. And if I can't tell you what I learned, don't give me my phone back. Ooh. How many of you would actually do that? One person out of maybe 35 to 40 people here. people would not do that because most people are not serious about being disciplined. Most people won't do that because most people are not serious about accomplishing their goals. Most people won't do that because most people, all they do is talk. But how many people are taking action? Is this helpful for anybody? Is this helpful for anybody? And so that's the importance of discipline, and that's one way you can be more disciplined, is to have people hold you accountable. All right? I'll take a few more answers. Who here has something they can improve on to become a better leader? Go ahead, talk to me. Communication. So communication in what sense? Relating with people. Okay, very good. That's what I teach, communications. Communication is really powerful. Why? When I was in primary school, when I was very young, in order to be the leader of the class, in order to be the best person in class, you either had to be the fastest person. So if you ran the fastest in elementary school, then people saw you as the leader. People automatically thought that you were the best. You had to be the strongest person. Who used to, what they call this, hand wrestle, where you go like this, give me a hand. Oh, let me see if I can win. Oh, shoot! I'm not gonna beat you better, right? Right? We used to hand wrestle each other, and whoever would, I won my way, I'll let you win. You want to do it again? Okay. And we used to hand wrestle, whoever was the strongest, they would be the leader. Or they'll say whoever is the smartest person in the class. So whoever had the most A's, people would think that person's leader. And I want y'all to really pay attention to what I'm about to say. In the real world that we live in, the leader is not the person who is the fastest, or else Usain Bolt would be the president of Jamaica. In the real world, the leader of that country, of an organization, is not the person who's the strongest. And I must say, the leader is not even the person who is the smartest. The leader of any large organization or country or state or city is typically the person who can communicate their message the best, whether that message is good or bad. To the administrators, am I right or am I wrong? Am I right or am I wrong? Whoever has the ability to communicate a message, to get others to feel what they feel through what you say, whoever can get others to believe in a message through communication, that's the person who people see as the leader. Does that make sense? Because no matter how intelligent you are, if you can't communicate that intelligence, no one will ever know. No matter how much of a desire you have to be successful, if you can't communicate with people and build healthy relationships with them, you can't build healthy relationships with them through communication, then you will never have healthy relationships. And so communication is one of the most important tools. So now, you might ask, how can I become a better communicator? Isn't that a fair question? So there's multiple ways across the board. So you have to build stronger relationships with another individual. Okay? Someone you work with, or someone you will go to school with, or someone who you desire to be a good friend. What a lot of people get wrong when they meet someone new, they try to be the most interesting person. They try to show, I am an interesting person, so you should get to know me. But in reality, one of the best ways to communicate with someone and to build a relationship with someone is to be interested in who they are. Is to be interested in them. is to show interest in what they love. Is to show interest in what they care about. Is to ask them questions to learn more about them. So that does two things at the same time. Are y'all following? Because I'm dropping wisdom right here. I really am. I can't lie to you. It does two things for you. One, people like to talk about themselves. Am I right or am I wrong? Am I right or am I wrong? If you ask someone 1,000 questions about themselves, they will talk and talk and talk. And then they'll walk away and say, oh my God, I just had a great conversation, when they were the ones talking the whole time. I'm not telling the truth. So that's number one, people like to talk. And so if you let people speak about themselves and what their interests are, what they care about, then they will feel as though you'll have a great conversation, a great connection. That's one reason why being interested in someone else is helpful. Number two, the second reason why being interested in someone else is helpful is because you get to learn what they value. You get to learn what they value, what they care about, what's meaningful to them. Why is that important? Here's an example. As someone is speaking about themselves, they might say, man, one day I want to visit another country and I want to help with X, Y, and Z. I want to help with something. And they say, why is that? And they say, oh, because when I was younger, someone came from the US or someone came from the UK, and they came here and they helped me with something in my life. And so immediately what you learn is that they care about service. You immediately learn that they care about helping other people. You immediately learn that growing up, their lives, they were raised in the best possible conditions, and they had someone to help you. And so by you learning more about their story, as you speak to them, you can basically shape what you say and how you say it in order to fit what their lived experiences are or the things that they value. Or you might speak with someone and you ask them questions and they talk about how they love God, right? They might talk about how they love the Bible. And you learn that, and then now, based on those values that you learned from them, you know that there's certain things that you can't say to them, or else they'll be disrespectful. You understand that there's certain jokes that you can't make with them, because then that'll be inappropriate. Because they have a value system that they live by. And so when you understand what someone's value system is, and now how you communicate and act with them is within that value system, it helps you to maintain that relationship better. And so when you're communicating with someone, most of the communication should come from you learning more about them. It's be them communicating to you. Because communication is a two-way street. So, is that helpful? Okay. So I can continue to go around the room and I can ask, what can you do to improve? But I think we have 15 minutes left. 10 minutes left, and I want to do a couple things. I want to answer at least 2 more questions, and then all of these books here, I would love to give it away to people who need it or who want it. Okay? So let me answer a few more questions. Who have any questions? Yeah. Can I hear? Okay, so you said taking into perspective different views. What's the question? No, go ahead, talk to me. Okay, how can you take someone else's perspective? How can you take someone else's values into perspective as you're making decisions? Okay, so now, everything depends on who this person is. Do you want to have a relationship with them? And when I say relationship, I'm not talking about girlfriend, boyfriend. It could be a working relationship, it could be a business relationship, it could be a friendship, it could be a mentorship. So that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So how do you take someone else's perspective? So one, you have your own value system, and you have their value system. Sometimes you don't value the same exact thing as someone else, but there are some things that overlap with each other. So whether that is helping other people, whether that is, if it's not religious, maybe it's family. You might be a Christian, someone might be a Muslim, but both of y'all value family, right? And so it's understanding what values they have that overlap with yours. Because one thing that you never want to do, you don't want to compromise your values just to build a relationship with someone else. Because then you'll, one, that's fake, but then you wouldn't be really committed to the work that you're doing. All right? You wouldn't be committed to that decision because you're going outside your own value system. So the best thing that you can do is find ways that both your values overlap, and that will help you to make a better decision. Does that make sense? Okay? Question? They wrote it down? Okay. Ooh! This is an amazing question. Who asked the question? Yo, can we clap it up for this person? I want you to stand up and take a bow. Stand up and take a bow. Stand up and take a bow. Take a bow. Take a bow. Okay. They asked, if everyone decides to be a leader, then who follows? That's a serious question. If everyone decides to be a leader, then who follows? Okay. I want you to pay attention to this answer. I will try my best to answer this question in 35 seconds or less. The best leaders on earth are also the best followers. There's no one who is a great leader today who was a bad follower yesterday. Why? Because when you are an exemplary follower, when you are a great follower, because following is not necessarily bad. A lot of people say, don't be a follower, be a leader. That's not good advice. You should be a follower, but you should follow people who are doing good. You should be a follower, but you should follow someone who is leading well. You should be a follower, but you should be following people who are doing things that you would like to do in the future. So every single great leader was once a follower and who still is a follower. Like me, I am a leader. I'm a leader in my classroom. I speak all around the United States of America. I speak around the world, right? And so there are a lot of people that I lead. However, there's a lot of people that I follow. I got mentors for business. I got a mentor for being a professional. I got a mentor for friendships. I got mentors across the board. I'm constantly following other people as I am leading others. And so the question is, if everyone decides to be a leader, who follows? All of the smart leaders are also still following. That was definitely more than 35 seconds. All right, I'll take more questions. Come on, quickly. I'll try to do a rapid fire. Y'all ask fast, I answer fast. It'll take a long time to ask, I'll take a long time to answer. All right, those are the rules. Talk to me. What about self-confidence? How do you build self-confidence? Okay, how do you build self-confidence? Very important question. A lot of people, they wait until they are confident to do something great. Here's the problem. You will never do something great because your confidence doesn't come while you're doing something great. Your confidence comes while you're doing things that are small. You follow me? Because the reason for that is you shouldn't think that all of your wins will be big. All of your wins might be small. Before I became an author, before I wrote my first book, I wrote an article online. I didn't just come out of nowhere and just start writing books. I wrote articles online. The article was probably 500 words, probably 300 words. And that was a win for me. That was a win. But this book right here, this book is 28,000 words. This book is 44,000 words. This book is probably 3,000 words, right? And so I didn't start writing articles, or I didn't start writing books to 28,000 words. I started with writing articles 300 words. So how do you build self-confidence? You start with small wins. And you keep winning on a small level, and eventually you'll grow and you'll win on a large level. All right? More questions. I like how you write them down. All right. I feel bad. If I don't celebrate the questions, it don't seem like you're not a good question. So regardless of the question, we all know clap. Okay? All right. The question is, how do I deal with being shy? Eric, coming up there. Oh my God. Okay. I'll answer quickly. Being shy has benefits. In some ways, it can be a superpower. Why? Because when you are shy, you are also very observant. Follow me? When you're shy, you're very observant. And a lot of people, their problem in life is they're not observant enough. They don't see what most people see. And so being shy is not inherently a bad thing. Right? That's a personality trait. However, now, because you are more observant because you're shy, the question is, what do you do with that information? What do you do with the information that you receive as you are observing? And so the part where being shy comes in is being shy might lead to nervousness. Being shy might lead to you not taking advantage of opportunities. Being shy might lead to a lot of negative things. So how can you deal with it? Number one, I want you to follow me. This might sound scary. Introduce yourself to at least one stranger every day. Yeah. Oh, you guys introduce yourself to at least one stranger every day. And you can come to the front. And why is that important? Because here's the thing. You do not be courageous. You do not become courageous by doing nothing. You become courageous by doing what you're afraid of. You know what I said? You don't be courageous by just sitting in a room and hoping courage will come on you. You be courageous by doing stuff that you're afraid of. So maybe talking to a stranger might be too much. It might be too much. But you might say, next time I go to school, I'm going to leave my pencil at home on purpose so I can start a conversation with somebody. So you start a conversation with someone and you ask, hey, can I borrow a pencil? And that might be the first step for you talking to a stranger. Does that make sense? And so you put yourself in positions where you have to be courageous, maybe even on a small level, before you can completely overcome being shy. Does that make sense? Was this conversation helpful for you? Raise your hand if this was helpful. Raise it. Okay, put it down. Raise your hand if you learned something. All right. Thank you all very much.
Hello?
Have two more?
Hello?
All right, one more. Can I read both of them? Answer. I'm trying to merge my answer. All right. Oh, this is a long question. Damn. Oh, sweet. Is that what that was? All right. Sorry, sir. Okay. Okay. I'm not trying to get in trouble. Okay, I'm gonna read all this at the same time, and I'm gonna answer all three of them. No one hold me accountable. Okay. Being a leader can be hard, and you can get a lot of judgment. How do you deal with that? Very good question. Okay, is it better for a leader to be respected or liked? Okay. How as a leader can you convince? Okay, how as a leader can you convince the people you're trying to lead to follow your views? Like trying to change the news around political apathy. That's a beautiful word. How do you know what to say? Okay, is It's better to be liked and respected as a leader. How about both? Because, how about both? Because it's not an either or. It's either I'm respected or I'm liked. People can like and respect you at the same time. For example, my students at the university that I teach at, they like me. I'm their favorite professor. Actually, I'm their favorite professor. But they also respect me. They know I don't play no games. I don't give any grade curves. I don't accept any late homework assignments at all. If they miss their speech, they can't redo it. They can't tell me, oh, my grandma died, I can't. No, I'm joking. If that happens, I'm understanding, okay? I'm understanding, all right? And so I'm liked and respected because they know not to play with me, all right? Okay. Being a leader can be hard. You can get a lot of judgment. How to do that? Okay. How do you deal with judgment? I have a counter-cultural opinion on judgment. Y'all ready to hear it? I think judgment is a great thing. I think you should desire to be judged. Ooh, never heard that before. Why should you desire to be judged? Because essentially what a judgment is an opinion someone has of you based on things that you've done. And if you are doing things that are not good, you should be judged on that basis. And if you are doing things that are good, then you also should be judged on that basis. You see, there's good judgment and then there's bad judgment. That's fair? Now, how do you deal with bad judgment? Some people, regardless if you do good or bad, they will have a negative opinion of you regardless. So how do you deal with that? I'm assuming that's the type of judgment you're talking about. Here's the thing. Regardless of what people say or feel about the things that you do, if you do it with integrity, at the end, I believe people will see the person judging for who they are. If someone constantly has a negative opinion on you, whether you are doing good or bad, or if people have a negative opinion on you, even if you're doing good, the people who you are doing good for, they will defend you. See, the real test to know if you are actually doing good and people are unfairly judging you is if the people you are doing good for defend you against their judgment. That what I said? And so that's the true test. So how do you deal with people who are judging you? Continue to do good. Continue to help others. Continue to love others. Continue to pour into others. And in the end, you'll have a community of people who support and love you, who will defend you at every turn. Last question. The long one. How can you convince people who's trying to lead follow? Okay. How can you convince people? Do you have to... Okay, y'all know flies like do. Poop. Y'all know poop? Flies like poop, right? Do you have to convince flies to fly around poop? If those poop on the street, do you have to send out an invitation to all the flies to go and fly around it? Yes or no? No! Because they like it. So you might ask, as a leader, how can I convince people to do what I want? Well, is the thing that you are convincing them to do good for them? Is this something that will benefit their life or only your life? Is it something that will make the community better? Is it something that will make their family better? Is it something that will make them happy? If the answer to that question is yes, then you don't have to convince them to do anything. All you have to do is present it to them. and they will love it as a result. Because it's not selfish. Because it's not self-serving. But because it is helpful for not only you, but for them as well. Is that fair? Thank you.
Can we say to Mr. Jefferson, please thank you for your time? Can we say that in unison? We'll do better than that. Can we say it again? Thank you for your time. We appreciate your coming. We appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That
Thank
was
you.
the end of this session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's go back to our classes.
Can I sign those to 10 people?
After now. Let's go back to our places. Then you come and say, in case you want to sign the book, we'll sign for you. Let's write. Talk about your classes. If you want to, please come and say you sign the book. 10%.
So preferably people who ask the question, either you wrote down the question or you asked it verbally. And I might have, I think I'll receive maybe 6 or 7 questions. So
those persons just come up. Let's go to the balance.
but you wasn't losing hand. You left hand? I'll beat you my left hand. Let's go. Yes. Okay.
So please let's arrange your classes.
I got you.
Go to the reception to sign.
All right, I'm going to sign this in the reception.
Yes, please. Please,
Are you sure what you were great? Are you sure what you were doing?
I was watching it.
You were watching it and you were pressing phone and you were lost in phone like this and you were almost there. You were lost in your phone. So you see, go and watch it and see how many times that you thought you were able to watch it. You were covering him and you were out of free.
Let me end it.